What's up? I can't wait to tell you about this. This is probably my most exciting thing that we're going to do in science for the whole rest of the year. And I know especially that my boys are going to be over the moon about this. Over the moon. Y'all are going to love it. The other reason that it's my very favorite science topic is that this week is a very, very important day. It's called Earth Day. And Earth Day is when we celebrate over the whole earth being clean, taking care of what we have, reducing what we use and take from the earth, and then reusing the things that we have. And it's so important. We're going to talk a good bit about this week. I have several videos that I want you to watch and fun activities too. So let's get started talking about it. We have combined this week our science and writing activities so that you will be writing and learning each day about the science topics that we're studying, and then you'll be writing those activities as well. So I really think you're going to like it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to listen and watch a video on worms. Where are my boy fans? Worms, 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 worms. I have boys of my own, and I've told you before, they love all things outside. So they love to play outside. They love sports outside. They actually love the creatures and critters that live outside. When they were little, they had these things called bug boxes, and you might have a bug box at your house, and you don't really have to buy one. You can just find like an old bowl or has a lid or maybe an old shoe box, and you have to get an adult's help, but you can put some holes in the top of it, and you can find you some neat little creatures that live outside. With your parents' permission, of course. Now, we talk about this a lot. There are some creatures that live outside that are friendly. And that means it's okay to touch them. But there are some creatures that live outside that are not friendly. And it's not okay to touch them. They could sting, they could bite, or they could be poisonous. So you always have to get a parent's help if you want to investigate the creatures that live in your backyard. But just a thought, my boys used to have bug boxes, and they would ask me all the time about creatures that lived in our backyard. And some of them we were able to put in the bug box and look at. Others of them we couldn't. We could just watch them kind of in the yard. But some of the things that they investigated in their bug box over the years were things like butterflies, beetles, some cool beetle bugs going on. Moths were another thing that we would investigate. Lots of different worms, which is the thing that we're going to be talking about this week as well. And those are all safe things to put in your bug box. But the one rule about the bug box is this. You always have to wash your hands when you're finished investigating those bugs, and you always have to let them go. Bugs are not meant to live in bug boxes. They're meant to live outside. They're meant to live in the grass or in the ground in your backyard. They're not meant to live inside in your room. So every time after we were finished investigating them and looking at them and watching them, we would let them go. And then the next day we might choose to investigate another insect or creepy crawly that lives in the backyard. So you might want to do that as part of your science investigation this week. You're going to be looking at some videos, like I said earlier. And the first video that you're going to be looking at is one about wonderful worms. The activity that you're going to be doing with that is on this first page, and it says earthworms can, have, and are. Okay, so you're going to fill out this graphic organizer after watching the short little video about earthworms, and you're going to write 2 things that they can do, 2 things that they have on their bodies, and 2 things that they are. We do these sheets a lot, so this should be very easy for you to write about. You don't have to write a whole sentence. You might just want to write a thought or an idea. We're going to use this to help with our writing on the next page that is in your packet. Okay? You're going to use that graphic organizer to help you come up with some really good sentences about earthworms. Okay? You're going to use this paper on 2 different days. You're going to write 3 sentences on one day about earthworms. And you're going to write 3 sentences on the next day about earthworms. And that's why I said to use this and write 2 things here, 2 things here, and 2 things here. Because if 2 and 2 and 2 make 6, and you're going to write 6 sentences, 3 on one day, 3 on the next, that will help you get organized and help you remember the things that you want to write about the earthworms. You have a front side and you have a back side, so you have plenty of paper to write. Remember, we've been talking about this every week. Your writing needs to look like a 2nd grader at this point. I need to look at it and go, that looks like a 2nd grader wrote that. Wow. I want your sentences to have capital letters. I want your sentences to have punctuation at the end, which would be a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. I want there to be finger spaces in between your words. I want your words to be spelled phonetically, which means you sound them out. Listen for those sounds that you know. And I want your sight words that you know to be spelled correctly as well. I want you to put a lot of thought into your sentences, boys and girls. I've said this week after week, but we're not writing, I like earthworms. That's great if you like them. But that's not a sentence that a 2nd grader would write. I want some type of fact about something an earthworm can do, have on their body, or something that they are. And that's why that graphic organizer is so important. Okay? This is going to help you with your sentences. Okay? Because you can always write earthworms can, and then use one of those words or thoughts that you wrote down. Earthworms have, there's your sentence. Use those 2 words or thoughts. Earthworms are, and use those 2 sentences or thoughts there. Okay, so it's a great way to help you get organized. You've got some words that you can spell here already done for you. Okay, so good luck learning about earthworms. And I bet if you went out into your backyard, or if we have a big rain, you could see some earthworms. And you really don't have to dig much of the ground up to find an earthworm. They're pretty easy to find. I know at my house, after we have a big rain, I can lift up the garage and there will actually be earthworms out of the ground on my driveway or right near the awning of my garage. I can find them there. I don't even have to dig in the ground for them. They're out. Sometimes they're really long and sometimes they're really short, but it's an earthworm. The other thing that we're going to be working on this week are some activities that go with Earth Day. And Earth Day is coming up. We're going to be talking about reducing, reusing, and recycling some things that we have to help protect and keep the earth clean and safe. We're going to be doing some activities where you can watch some videos and also with your weekly reader. So let's talk about those things that we're going to be doing. Your weekly reader this week is on recycling. This is such a cool weekly reader. You can use the magazine to help you learn about recycling gum. What? Gum? Like I chew gum and we're going to recycle it? I don't even know what to think about that. I don't know if I think I like that or I don't like that. But this is a very cool weekly reader. It has lots of information about gum and how it can actually be used, again, for other things. On the back of your weekly reader, you have some activities to do. There's a recycling chart back there, and it's showing you that gum is not the only thing that can be recycled. And it talks about different things, plastic things, metal things, and glass things that can be recycled. And it says that in order to recycle, you have to put things into categories or groups. And so you're going to be looking at the chart and then using the chart to answer the questions about the different groups of materials that would be under the plastics, under the metals, and under the glass. Okay? Also, with your weekly reader this week, you're going to be answering some questions on this page from the story. Here, you're just going to answer the questions for 1 and 2. And then on number 3, it says that Anna hangs up this in communities. What do you think it's for? You have to look at the picture, try to figure it out. And then the last question, number 4, it says draw one thing that Anna can turn gum into. You can use your weekly reader to help you answer that question. Okay, another thing that you have from your weekly reader is this review page about calendar skills. And the Earth Day that we just talked about, which is this week on the 22nd, Wednesday the 22nd is Earth Day, is on your calendar, so you can kind of see that. There are some questions here, and you're going to use the April calendar to answer those questions. Calendar skills are things that we work on in math, and we work on them for social studies and science each year. So this is just a quick review, some calendar skills, how to use a calendar to find information to answer questions. Okay, the other thing that we're going to be doing with our Earth Day activities is you're going to be writing about reducing, reusing, and recycling. Okay, you're going to learn about this from your Scholastic magazine, weekly reader, and then you're going to write 5 sentences of things that you can do at your house to reduce, reuse, or recycle something. 5 sentences. I'm going to remind you those sentences need to be neatly written. They need a capital letter and punctuation at the end. They need space. You need to use phonetic spelling. You also need to know the sight words you're writing. Write those correctly. And they need to be really good sentences. Really good sentences. A big, exciting sentence is what I want to read. Okay? You're also going to be completing some activities this week about seeds. On day 5, you're going to listen and watch a video about seeds and how they grow, and that's called germination. And in that video, you're going to see how that happens over time. If we were at school, we would be planting some things, and you could watch that happen every day, and we'd be recording what was going to happen. And you could even do that at your home as well. I bet your parents have been doing some yard work, maybe planting some in your yard. I know that this is a big time when people like to plant flowers or maybe a small garden. So that's a lot about what we're learning about seeds and how they grow. You're going to watch the video and listen to how a seed germinates, and then you're going to take this paper and you're going to write 6 facts that you learned from the video. Okay? 6 facts that you learned from the video, and then you can draw a picture, or you could draw several pictures if you wanted to section off your page into 4 boxes or 6 boxes, and you could write the stages of how a seed grows. You have plenty of room on the back. And remember, you're going to do your best handwriting. You're going to use that phonetic spelling, really good sentences, 2nd grade writing work. I've said it already. I know you don't need to hear it again, but we're going to work on that this week. The last thing we're going to do is an activity. You got your little worm down here. Mine got cut off, but you can color your earthworm. You can put him in the grass, or you can put him in the dirt. And this is a mushroom. You're going to use the circles of this mushroom to write a verb in each circle. And then you're going to color the picture. Okay, you're going to write a verb in each circle. Color the picture. Now, you're going to have to remember what a verb is. You should know that. We've learned about verbs already. Okay, so you're going to write a verb. You can spell it phonetically, sound it out, and then write it in the box or the circles of the mushroom, and then color your picture. Okay, I hope you have a great week investigating and learning about earthworms, about seeds, and about Earth Day. There are lots and lots of exciting things that are on YouTube, on the educational sites that I've already given you about these topics. Feel free to go with your parents' help to that search bar at the top and search for Earth Day for Kids or Earth Day Read Alouds for Kids or Seed Books for Kids, Earthworm Books for Kids. Lots and lots and lots of fun things will pop up for you to see and watch. And so I hope you take advantage of this week as we kind of study about all things that are under the ground and how to take care of our earth. Bye.